just to start with that song, it's actually one of my tracks. The audio is out, but I don't really like the production, so I'm not ready to do the video now until I get what I need in the production. Good morning, friends. Good morning. I'm Ella Annie by name and a businesswoman, full-time businesswoman, and a music artist. Actually, this morning I want to talk on a topic I called how to reply your enemies. I've lived to realize that most times we are doing the wrong thing and expecting the right result. It doesn't work that way. And the earlier we start doing the right thing, that's when we start getting the right result. Okay? Because if you're doing the wrong thing, you keep getting the wrong result. Okay? Why I doing this live streaming is nothing else but to pass some vital information to you, which is part of my history, which is part of my success story. Okay? Excuse me. This morning I'm going off for a new track, okay, a music production. I'll be going to the studio to come up with another hit track, and I realized there was a time I had nothing to work on my passion, to adjust stories. And when people are saying whatever they want to say, you feel so bad because you know what you carry, but there's no financial backup to showcase it. Okay? And most times we keep praying, believing God to do so many things for us. And in the process, we don't do the right thing that is left for us to do. Let me just tell you the truth. Principles obeyed gives success is principles obeyed, and failure are just principles disobeyed. Okay? It's equal reaction, action and reaction. They are equal reaction. Ask yourself this question now. For how many years have you been praying? For how many years have you been struggling? And at the end of the day, your results don't even measure up a bit. Actually, we don't need to push out the fact that there are days that you are learning. You fall, you rise, you fall, you rise. But if you keep falling and rising until you get to your 25, 30 or above, something is wrong somewhere. Okay? There is something behind the failure. Because there are times to learn and there are times to showcase what you have learned. It's during those learning days that you can fail as many times as possible and rise as many times as possible. But after that, you start showcasing what you have learned from your failing days. Okay? Because you were able to rise. Now, if you're not seeing results, I'm talking to people that are above from 25 years up now. Because it's like we babysit ourselves so much. Remember that 18 years you're no more a kid. But I still leave those ones because they are still at the battling period. But from 25 years up, my sister, if you have not started seeing tangible results in your efforts, there are things you are not doing right. Okay? We know that there are some spiritual things that can tamper with our results. Yes, we are Africans. Anyone that tells you there's nothing like spiritual is just lying to you. But at the same time, most of us, we pray a lot. We pray very well. But why are we still seeing those things around us? I think there are things we need to look into. Outside our prayers, you keep your prayer going, but there are things you need to look into. Just like I said earlier, there are principles obeyed. They are just what is called success. And principle disobeyed brings failure often and often. So we need to then ask ourselves now, that how do you reply your enemies and those the bad wishers, because there are so many persons that must wish you bad unless you're not doing anything reasonable. How do you reply them? And these are the things I wrote out. One of the ways to reply them is this: by succeeding. Success is a big word. It has a lot of things in it. Now, number one is what? Succeeding financially. Succeeding financially in a positive way. And now, there are things you need to put in place to succeed financially. And what are those things? There are things I started practicing earlier in life. And those little practices started giving me results. Just like this morning, I'm going to do a production. And I remembered how many years I started as a child to compose, even some songs that are meaningless. As a little child, I just be singing and people will be laughing because what I was singing has no meaning, but I was enjoying just making that noise. Until I grew up and started adding small meaning, even some useless meaning, jamming them up until I grew up today to still sing something better off. Because music is part of me. Now, if I didn't start practicing what I started practicing, my brother, I would never come out with that music. I'm going to die with it. But because I was able to learn what I'm going to teach you, and I started putting it in place, today I'm dishing out my tracks. It's my passion. It's my number one passion. So I'm pushing it out. And people are listening and getting blessed. Okay, now how did I come across this? Anything that gives you sleepless night, my dear, my sister, my brother, give it more time than anything, especially your destiny, your passion, your mission on earth. First, I started saving. Actually, the first money I saved for some years actually was used to solve a problem that came up, but I continued saving again. Because I was saving to come up with reasonable productions. I was able to see some studio that could collect just anything and give me anything. But I ceased not to go for it. Rather, I had to go for something safe to get to where I am today. Then I started saving money. I bought a save. This little save we normally use. When you see it, you laugh. What is safe doing in my house, doing in my apartment? But I must tell you the truth that almost every day I drop money inside that safe. And that safe gave birth to my first track, my second track, my sixth track, and now the seventh track now I'm bringing out. Okay? And many more other tracks that will come out. That my little savings. I'm doing it. I don't use it for anything. I'm just saving it for my music. So what is that stuff that gives you sleepless nights? What? What is that stuff that gives you sleepless nights? Save towards it. Just zero your mind and keep saving towards it. Let people say what they want to say. Let them act the way they want to act around you. But at the end of the day, you have reasonable money to put. Any money you put in that safe, don't draw it out for any nonsense. Okay? Save towards what you're passionate about and gradually start doing something. You know, there is a house they call 1 year, 1 block in Enugu here. But I must tell you the truth. 1 year, 1 block is better than 1 year, no block. Let's learn it. It doesn't take us anything to come with a cajoling mentality of talking against somebody's days of little beginning. But whenever you underrate days of little beginning, you will never get to the great side of life. Because it's one step at a time. Even though another person may lay his own block 10 a day, or 1 million blocks a day, or 10 million or 10,000 blocks a day, but yours is 1 block a day. You are better than no block a year. You're far better. Okay, so be yourself. Work on your self-esteem. Work on how people's opinion pull you down. Work on yourself. Be yourself. I mean what I'm telling you. Yes, it will touch you to a large extent, but don't allow it to scatter your plans. Keep moving. I know one particular year, I was like at the highest turbulence of my life. The ups and downs was so heavy. And one of my aunties who have been praying for my downfall face to face told me, thank God you are now frustrated. You know how people talk to you at the midst of your heavy challenges. Say, thank God you are now frustrated. And that statement gave me a motivation. She never knew that she opened my eyes to see the depth of her envy towards me. And it's not up to a year, it was under months, I gave a little reply. A little reply of what I did. And another reply of what I did. And to date, she's looking for a way to come back for us to be relations again, which I never give room, because once an enemy is forever an enemy. And anybody that celebrates your downfall will never celebrate your success. It's coming back to hit again. Okay? So, reply. The best replies are actions, not quarrels. No, if you start quarreling, you're burning down the energy and the mind you used to reply with action. Okay, so I suggested we practice savings. Save towards that your passion. Like my music track, I know how much it will cost me to get a good one track. I save towards it. Whenever I succeed in it, whenever I get the amount, I just pay and do the track. And to some persons, I'm a multi-millionaire. I don't even feel it when I'm doing anything. But I know how I'm planning towards those things that makes me look like a multi-millionaire. Not that I really have it excess. But the fact is that I save towards them and I achieve them with time. One white man made a statement, which I'm going to repeat. He said, if you achieve your dream a day before you die, history carries it that you have achieved it. It's better to achieve it a day before you die than you did not achieve it entirely. Don't die with your passion. Don't die with your potentials. It's a crime. Okay, we are given such to come and drop it here and leave. You are not giving it to still carry it back. Imagine you are giving something to sell in the market and you came the whole day, you didn't sell anything. Do you go home happy? No, you go home sad. And you can imagine how it will be in the whole house when you come back sad. Okay, so I'm suggesting savings. I'm lamenting on savings because savings is my major power. That is my major staying power. That's my major source of sponsoring this my music career. Savings. I drop money into a local save, not bank. I'm telling you that it mustn't be bank. I drop money to a local save. I drop money to some contributions. And then when it gets to what I want, I mop it, go and do a track, push it out. Okay? Do the video, a quality video. It mustn't be anyhow, okay? So you need to practice savings. I'm lamenting on it. You need to practice savings. Personal savings that you're saving because of what eats your mind, because of what gives you sleepless night, because of the quality you have. You know, there are some persons you see, they will be talking so intelligently, full of wisdom, this and that. When you stay with them, you learn a lot. But if you look at their age, they achieved nothing. Some of them are drunkards. Go to bar where they sell kai. We'll be hearing deep, meaningful statements from some of those men. But why are they that? They didn't end up achieving anything. Why? What caused it? Okay. Let me just pick this important call. Don't be offended. Hello? Eh? Hello? Hello, yeah. Yes, I did. One. Thank you. Yeah. So it happens the way it happened that this thing, you'll be hearing them speaking very, very intelligently, in a very wise manner. They can advise you, and if you apply it, you succeed. And you ask yourself, why did they get to this old age achieving nothing? There are things they didn't put in place. There are things that they didn't make to work out well. So many of them had the idea, but go for the practical parts of it. It was a big deal. I can tell even me sometimes I feel like, not doing anything, carry my money, do another thing, but I struggle to save. And I see that savings giving me good results, okay? So I still talk about the second one is multiply your income. Make sure you're not the spender. If you're the spender, you won't even know when you start doing wrong things to make money. Okay, if you're the type that spends anyhow without checking the inflow should be higher than the outflow, unless you go bankrupt and you start borrowing where you shouldn't borrow and you get yourself into series of debts. Okay, so what you're spending, make sure you multiply your income. You have sources where your income are being multiplied. Okay, look for sources if you can, even if it's your normal business. I tell some persons selling pure water is better than staying at home and begging for recharge card. Please get yourself into something and start doing it. Okay, so another thing I'm talking about here is meditation. Bring out time sometimes to think about yourself. Meditate about yourself. How are things working out? How old am I? What and what have I achieved? Or am I still the same way I was since 10 years ago, since 5 years ago? You check yourself and you ask yourself, why? Okay, if I'm moving well, thank God, but do I need to increase my speed? How do I handle it? I'm not going to stay here forever, so I need to look into from this time to this time, will I still be able to achieve all this, or do I need to increase my speed? Okay, if you need to increase your speed, how do you? Okay, now second, and all those things are needed. Then if you check and see that you are not doing well, you now ask yourself, why? I pray always, I go to church, go to deliverance, do this, do that, and I'm not moving very well. Oh, what do you do? These are questions, important questions you need to ask yourself. Then when you start telling yourself the truth, okay, I do things this way, is it that I should do it this way? Okay, anyone that gives you confusion, you go to your YouTube, how to handle this. Just look for the videos, listen to different great men that have made it. They will give you advice. You don't even need those your umuna and ancestors around you that will not tell you anything positive. You read. You just listen. You know, we are attached to videos. We don't like reading it again. But there are good videos now that can help you through YouTube and so on. You just go through them. They advise you, and you just practice what they told you and see the results. Or if it is not now that mighty, you look for another one lesson. Before you know it, you become a better person. Okay, so meditation about yourself, you and you alone, is very important. Almost every day, not once in a while. Almost every day, and the best time is early morning when you wake up, before leaving your bed. Pray. After pray, you sit down for some times. Let Spirit of God bring out the wisdom in you and advise you for them. Okay, it's the best time. And I have the next one here. Avoid people with negative mindset, with negative intentions. No matter how they give you fun. So for what they tell you brings down your ideas, avoid them. And avoid people that use you to achieve a particular thing. The fact is that sometimes in our mind, we know it is not really a good relationship that has to take you to your promised land. But we battle it by saying, let's see. No, let's see is time waster. Most times it is. When you have seen that negative red light showing you your promised land is at stake, please depart from such relationship and move on. Because you can't stay in this world forever. Okay, avoid them. Even if you live in the same house with them, there's what psychology call mental save. Develop this mental save whereby whatever they're saying or whatever they're doing does not count much. You just look, you laugh, you smile. You don't allow it to get your nerves, okay? Because anything that gets your nerves easily will help you to develop BP in a short time. So you just allow it not to get to your nerves and move on, okay? So, and the next one I say, and make sure you're not the reason for another person's problems, another person's downfalls. Because sometimes we pray for progress, we pray to move on, we pray to succeed, but we are standing on someone else so that the person will be there until we move. You don't understand that? No, it's not good. Let me just tell you the truth. Forces of nature cannot be controlled by man. You can just control yourself. You can pray for nature to back you up. And if nature decides to back you up, they will. But you don't control them like remote control. Oh yeah, follow this person, deal with him. Oh yeah, nobody has remote control of nature. And nature is nothing else but God. And that is why karma does not need your approval to come to your house when it's due. Okay? So make sure you are not the source of another person's downfall. If not, expect yours anytime. So the next one I say is this. Pray. Pray always. Pray always. Prayer is the key. But I can tell you that the best prayer on earth is when you pray with clear understanding of what you want and the nature of God. That's when you give everything to God, pray and gather every your problem to God. At the end of the day, you will not play your own role. It doesn't work. You need to play your own role. Bible said, I will bless the work of your hand. And the work of your own hand is what? Is the work of your hand civil service? Is not really your work of your hand. While you're doing any work, please, civil service or whatever, get yourself something that you do by yourself, without government support, without anybody's support. This is what I do. Okay? That is what I need from you. And I'll be ending it here with you, with this new track of mine, which I'm working on the video, and by God's grace, anytime the video will be out. It's called Igwe Onyema.